getting in a big red party.
Smells of the old back shop. We're stuck now with the goddamn insurance's office, and I was talking to the insurance office, and I tell you, I was talking to Rimstead, and he says you're well out of it, okay? And they fucked you, and I hope you get them back.
Gee, that's not bad.
It didn't rhyme very well.
Okay, next. No, that's fine. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know my face. You would. Doesn't matter.
Nobody knows your face.
Okay. Listen, hold on.
George Hutchison.
I'm here because I know a lot of the people that have worked with you, Big Red, and I'm here to bleed with them.
Well, I figured I'm going to take pictures. I want to look like a photographer.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Doug Creighton's 64th birthday party. First things first, the washrooms are located on this floor. They're located on the second floor, and they're located in the basement. Okay? Second, fourth, and basement for washrooms. The food will be put out downstairs after the speeches. You're all welcome to grab your food. And the rest of the night, DJ is here, the band's rolling. You're all welcome to stay as long as you can. Now, it's Grey Cup week in Canada, so let's start. We're going to really ask everyone to just hold the noise down so everyone can hear. Let's start with a football cheer. Give me a D. D! Give me an O. O! Give me a U. U! Give me a G. G! What do you got? Louder! Louder! Doug, over to you.
I tell you, when a major crisis enters your life, it's a measure of one's friends, how rapidly, solidly, and frequently they stand by you. And my untimely departure from the Sun has lost me a few people on our board, as I thought were friends. But this turnout tonight and what has gone before convinces me that we have a friendship of almost the entire Sun family.
Yes!
This building was pure genius. I don't know who got it. And I want to walk around and see it. But I think there was a hole in the wall. We started. We sure as hell didn't have these many employees. But it instantly brings back memories to me that will never pass. You know, Rimstead blowing all our power with his kettle on our hair, then going to Mexico for a long vacation. The only way we got him back was by sending his check 600 miles north. Worthington's first editorial, Our Reason Why, it could apply today. I hope that the new management will remember that it should apply today. Our three sons and Brett Downing established our only daily delivery. And it was about 120 pages. They are better citizens today, I think, because of their work at the Sun. Someone once said to me that I treat our employees like family and our family like employees. Well, we're all together tonight, so it's one big family, and that everybody remains as happy as possible. Everybody says why, and I don't know exactly why. But retirement discussions with McLean Hunter began in September of this year. It was after a meeting of the Human Relations Committee. Ron Osborne told me he reported annually to a committee of his board on succession. And by coincidence, I'd been doing some thinking about this, and I shared my views with him, and later that day, put them in writing. I said that I'll turn 65 on November 27th, 1993, and then I added somewhat prophetically, God and the directors willing. But I like to think about it by I went on to say that I would hope to chair my last shareholders meeting in the spring of 1994. The reason for this date was I thought both the Ottawa Sun and the Financial Post would be profitable by then. It would be a good time to
That's the board sneaking by.
I said that I would not only retire as CEO, but also quit the chairman's job to give my successor a clear run without me leaning over his shoulder. That letter to Ron Osborne is dated September 2nd, 1992, and due to the ingenuity of facsimile machines, Ron Osborne's reply had the same date. He agreed that the spring of 1994 was the right time to step down as chairman and CEO, and was delighted that I would remain on both the Plain Hunter and Toronto Sun boards until I was 70. I have since resigned from the Plain Hunter board, although that has not been acknowledged as yet. I intend to resign from the Sun board once our departure negotiations are concluded. Ron wanted, as I did, a smooth transition to ensure that I not become a lame duck. Osborne said he couldn't picture me as a lame duck. I'm sure he meant that then. So how less than 2 months later, and 1 year following our momentous 20th anniversary party, did I become not a lame duck, but a dead duck?
Never!
Never!
How about Chalmer again? Anyway, I wish I knew the whole story, but I don't. And what happened is now, some of what happened is now part of ongoing negotiations between lawyers, for me and for Sun, and comment therefore cannot be made anymore.
Yeah, well, we can. Yeah, we want Doug.
I'm trying to get through this without crying. That lawyer, Jim McCallum over there. Thanks, Jim, for giving me this problem.
It was a unanimous decision, but nobody was there, Doug.
Blow up the Sun building!
There's a guy who retired, shaking hands. He's now making more money than he was when he retired.
I got a job for you in radio.
Anyway, Ron Osborne and Herb Solway arrived in my office at 2 p.m. on November the 4th. The meeting was very brief. It started with Herb Solway saying, we want Godfrey to be the CEO. And then Osborne talked of settlement. We don't want you to want for money, he said. I'm sure that they all mean that. All I could think of was that these guys were taking my paper away. I told them to get out. In my amazement, they left.
Squeeze over a little bit of that wrangle.
Homicide Ford had voted against me. Osborne then told me that I should stay on both the Toronto Sun and the McLean 100 boards. I couldn't say clearer. I was very mad, and then I was very sad. When both feelings are present and the situation is very emotional, certainly among my family, I think that's the time to seek outside help. So I'm in the hands of lawyers who warn me to say nothing.
Good job.
My lawyer McCallum never stopped talking. I didn't say nothing. I've been in this business 43 years, and it's hard for me to simply say no comment, so I hope you understand. I won't go into any depths as to how this thing has affected our family. There are lots of tears. There's lots of undisguised anger here. The damage to our family is much greater than I thought. Much greater than I realized. Just intolerable as far as I'm concerned. Just over 1 year from planned retirement from the most successful startup in decades in North America. And now I fear you may remember me as the guy who got fired just before he got
Doug for PM.
I thought back in 1971 that my emotions could never be affected more than during the original growth period of the Toronto Sun from this sparsely equipped upstairs warehouse. It looks better now than it did before. To a true competitor in size and quality with the country's largest newspapers. No one is going to take these memories from me. Neither can anyone remove my emotional reaction from employees, readers, and friends, all of whom you're there. Faxes I've received, the phone calls, and the letters have kept my family in tears, but somehow have kept our spirits up. Everything which I have received, in terms of letters, etc., has supported me, and believe me, when your life's work is turned upside down, you really need this kind of recognition.
We just love you, Doug.
Our columnists have been wonderful. I encouraged personal journalism in the Sun, never thinking that it would be as good as it is, and that I would be once the focus of it. All of this has provided wonderful relief from what I'm sure has been the worst days of my life. So has the full-page ad from employees, a letter of support signed by the department heads, and of course, this tremendous party at the Apex. I know that all this has been paid for by the employees, which touches Marilyn and I deeply, mainly because we don't have the money to pay for it. I think there's a lot of guys in there that were better lines than I am. Well, we owe you at the Sun a great debt of thanks.
We owe you, Doug.
We owe you.
wonderful crowd. The people who signed their names to support petitions took out ads with their names on it. It takes a wonderful, dedicated staff to do this. But now I must ask that you recognize that the Sun must remain foremost in our minds from tonight on.
Why?
You created the dedication, Doug. It'll be hard to keep up with you gone.
I'm finished in just a minute.
Way to go, Rick.
We're looking at a still stagnant economy. We're looking at increased competition. Suddenly in Ottawa you have the threat of a union. This has to be met with your best efforts to ensure the paper of its rightful spot. Earlier, I mistakenly referred to it as my paper. It isn't. It's your paper.
It's all ours. It's our paper. It's ours. It's still yours, Doug.
All right, I'll settle for ours. Most psychiatrists state that in tough situations, the soul needs a brief, very intense period of grieving before it progresses to the next phase. But the grieving must have pain without restraint. I can tell you that certainly has happened to our family, and I hope the time has arrived for you and me to support the Sun in its next phase. I intend for this to be my last public statement in this lousy situation. We all have careers to look forward to. So I am unable to be with you in this battle. But despite the confusion which surrounds us, I think it's time to go full blast on behalf of the Sun and the Financial Post, etc. I'll be watching. I'll be rooting for all the papers. Thank you again for all your support. It's beyond anything I could dream of. Goodbye.
Recognize the tremendous contribution and support of Maryland throughout the 21 years of the Sun and throughout the last couple of weeks. I'd like to ask George Gross, on behalf of the day oneers and all of us, to please present Maryland with roses as a token of our affection and love. George?
Behind every successful, admired, and loving man is a loving, successful, and great woman. On behalf of all the day oneers and all those who have joined the Sun family since, may I present these flowers as a token to all of them.
Way to go, Baron.
Now I need your attention for just about 5 more minutes and then we can get to the party. The first thing the committee decided was that there wouldn't be an endless procession of presentations. However, our next speaker pulled rank. And I say anytime the Chief of Police of Toronto wants to make a presentation,
night tonight, and ladies and gentlemen, I would like to have come up with me at the present moment Staff Inspector Hugh Ferguson, Adrian McLennan, Sergeant Dunna, and Frank Barbetta. Where are you? Get up here, Frank. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a great pleasure for me in terms of something that I want to do and something that was suggested to me by the Sun employees, whom I have a tremendous amount of love and respect for. But let me tell you that I go back a long way, and I'm not going to bore you with a long speech, with Doug to 52 Division when I was a probationary detective, and he was on another newspaper at the time.
Good old Kelly.
Yeah, right. But let me tell you that it all centers around the word respect. And I think this man has done more for the prestige and respect that has been built in this community, and in fact in this nation, for the profession of journalism than anybody else I know. But there always is a but, and this is something that I hope that I wouldn't have to tell you tonight. But long, long years ago, I found out that Doug had another thought in mind and never really could succeed in that thought. And as a result of it, Doug, I'd like you to come up for a moment, because I'm going to fulfill your original mission in life. On behalf of all your friends here, and especially the Metropolitan Toronto Police Force, because the Metropolitan Toronto Police Force thinks very highly of you, Doug. An honorary chief of police is bad. Yeah. You on becoming one of the individuals that holds a very prominent position in the community with the Lieutenant Governor and a few more. But I also want to read this to you. Be it known to all that J. Douglas Creighton has this day been appointed Honorary Chief of Police of Metropolitan Toronto, dated Toronto, the 27th day of November, 1992, signed W. McCormick, Chief of Police.
Really not all. Within the Metropolitan Toronto Police Force and the old city force, Doug, as you know, there's another family. It's a very special family, and I think there may be 4 people who are not police officers, right? This is the Hold Up Squad alumni. Doug is a member of the Hold Up Squad alumni. He's always wanted to be in a hold-up squad because he was afraid to go out and walk by himself. Now, I have a special presentation from these lads. You can see we're nearly all big lads, but we're real softies at heart. We all break down when it comes to things like this. But here we have, this is a special bell. Bill Bolton used to call it a gong. But this bell is hung, as you know, Doug, on Bill Bolton's bar since 1956. And I'll read you the inscription. It says, to Bill, from Dad, on his elevation to Detective Police Inspector, 1956. Bill Bolton's dad gave him this bell. I think you've rung this many times. Actually, what happened, I must tell you, we canvassed, there's 165 members of us left in the hold-up squad, alumni, and we wanted to see because Bill said that when he passed on, this bell was to be given to the fella that would like a bar the best. I didn't say that, no, Bill Bolton. When we went and canvassed everybody, and that includes Frank and Julie and Jack Webster and myself, among others, of that 165, we came down to a short list of 159. And if those were all counted, Doug was a runaway winner. As I said, Bill Bolton called this a gong. You already had your gong show. So we thought this was very apropos. In the words of a very famous alumnus, Frank Rabetta, remember, don't get mad, get even.
Okay, as Doug's first official act as police chief, he has decided that he's going to forgive Norbat's parking tickets for a week, thereby saving his son several $100s. Now, I've been told earlier tonight by Ray Biggert that if we take $200 from the proceedings tonight, we can, and give it to the Toronto Historical Society, that they will put a plaque on this building denoting that the Eclipse building is... Tonight's event was put together by a volunteer committee drawn from all departments, and to make a presentation on your behalf, I'd like to call on our hard-working chairman, Laurie Goldstein.
We on the committee thought long and hard about an appropriate gift from the staff. You figure you have enough stuff with some logos on it. But we do know, you said when the Jays won the World Series this year, it was one of the greatest thrills of your life. Because you're a great Canadian, we'd like to present you with carving by a Canadian artist, Roberto Alomar. The only thing we'd like to say is that Roberto Alomar was the MVP of the Jays this season. You're our MVP every season.
We have telegrams and messages from everyone from the Prime Minister to the Leader of the Opposition and many other people, and with your permission I will dispense with the reading of those. It's safe to say that they'll be put in a commemorative book for Doug for tonight. Now, Doug, we have all admired your vision, your determination, your drive, and sometimes your fundamental impatience when it came to getting the job done. All of these qualities have allowed our company to thrive and to grow. Your greatest legacy, Doug, is the people that you have attracted to our company. The Suns in Toronto, Edmonton, Calgary, and Ottawa, the Financial Post throughout the Bose operations at Comprint in Washington and in Florida. And Doug, on behalf of all of your employees, let me make one simple pledge. We will continue to do our jobs with the same determination and style that you have come to expect from us. And we'll do them day in and day out, and that's our promise. You agree? There's a birthday cake here somewhere which we're not going to be able to cut now because we can't get it through the crowd, but it'll be here for later. The bar reopens on the second floor. The bands will start. You're allowed to stay until you want to go home, or till we kick you out, whichever comes first. Have a great party, and if anybody wants to be here...
Happy birthday!